As we all know, music is a universal language. I was always just passionate about music and I wanted to be part of it.
An artist takes something dark and they transmute it into something beautiful. A lot of people in the entertainment industry become consumed with that darkness.
An artist makes music for the fans to listen to and consume it. Once you put it out, it's not yours anymore. It's the fans.
Wow.
You think it's yours, but it's really not.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Rich and Soul podcast. Y'all thought that we were gone. I know I gave you guys a little bit of a break, but we're back. And I am back with a powerful, beautiful human being. Welcome, Miss Barbie Rivas.
Thank you. I'm super excited to be here with you.
I know. This power, first off, literally, just the word Blissful Project. You guys might have seen her. She throws some incredible wellness events here in South Florida, but she's also a total powerhouse in terms of the music space.
Thank you.
And I'm so excited to have you on because we have so many people in the creative world, right? Whether rappers, poets, singers, directors, and you happen to be that person who is in the mix of it all. And still you've decided that you want to participate and be a part of the wellness space. And I want to thank you so much for that because that you took the world that you've walked through and you've decided, hey, I'm not just going to leave this behind. Like, there's a reason why I've walked this path and I'm taking this with me. And I want to get straight into it. I want to know, talk to me about your story, a little bit about how you got into the music space and the project that you're working on now. Tell us all about it.
Well, I definitely love music since I was really, really young. I always knew that I wanted to do something in the music space, but definitely not like artist or singing or anything like that.
I was going to ask you, do you sing or anything?
I don't do any of that. Now I'm doing sound bowls, and thumb drums and everything. So that's my way of making music. But I was always just passionate about music and I wanted to be part of it. And it all started, Venezuelan young girl immigrant who came here at a really early age with just her mother. And, I had to learn a lot of things on my own. And I had to just kind of from a really young age, work on everything by myself. My mom did the best she could, and she continues to be the best mother in the world. But when you don't have a big family, you don't have a big support system, and you're a young kid in a new country, you have to kind of you have that extra weight on your shoulders, you have to be the best, or you have to, make sure that you work extra hard. And being here, I got the opportunity to start my career in radio, which was my first passion, because I'm not a singer. But then I'm how can I, be a voice within the music industry? And I like music. I want to listen to music and I want to talk to artists, and I'm interested to know how the artists and the creatives make music and what makes them want to make music, because as we all know, music is a universal language. And I thought it was so interesting how it doesn't matter what language you're singing on, what type of music, once it hits, it could hit worldwide and everybody could really love it. So I started in radio for about 8 years. And then I went into the label side working for Mr. 305 Records, Pitbull, Dale 305. And I've been there in the last 5 years. And throughout
you've been there 5 years.
Yeah, 5 years. Time passes by quick the older you get.
It does.
And throughout those transitions in my life, from growing up alone as an immigrant with my mother, seeing her struggle, then having my own struggles growing up, going after my career, and then having to switch my career, I learned the importance of wellness for myself, and I started practicing a lot of different things, which helped me kind of learn. And then I wanted to share with the world. And that's why we're talking about the Blissful Project right now.
Yes.
Which is kind of my way of giving back, or at least just kind of letting the world know that, this is important for not just me, for everybody. And I'm not an expert, or I'm not the best at everything, but I just want to share with people and then hope that they can also heal and learn and grow and, you know, focus more on the spiritual side.
As you're talking to me, I'm literally hearing almost like my own story that I never really thought about it. Like as you're saying that, I'm playing back like all the times that I think naturally there's some of us that truly know that we're meant to be at least in the space. Especially when you said, I knew I wanted to be in the entertainment industry, but I couldn't sing. I didn't want to sing.
Yeah.
I didn't want to be a DJ. I didn't want to, but I wanted to be in this space. And I have a similar thing that happened to me. I ended up, before I started working for Mr. Billionaire guy, right? Before I got into that, I was actually working also within the music space. I started working with like digital analogs, and it was a company called RME. And I loved being able to kind of be that middleman. And that was like my first kind of love for like production and all that stuff. And when I started to work for Mr. Billionaire, I came in and I actually met my partner there in the behind the scenes of the space. I started working in the studio, and there was something that I truly loved about working around these high performers. This kind of stressful and we're gonna get into this, but dark space.
Yeah.
And being able to be a beacon of light in those opportunities and in those rooms. I want to jump straight into this because I think one of the biggest things that we growing up, especially I have plenty of clients that and friends that want to be in the entertainment industry, whether they actually are creatives or if they want to be kind of like working for a label, be the middleman. But there's a fear that comes up constantly, which is, man, I'm scared of what people in that space can do to me. I mean, we've seen so many cases. We're seeing cases right now with like, I don't even know if we could say the name P. Diddy. Can we say, is that gonna get like shadow banned? I don't know. But we see it, right? Like people who record managers and executives, assistants, like everyone gets affected within the space when you're in those kind of environments. Yeah. And so I want to know about what was that was there a specific moment where you were like, man, this space needs it more than any other space. Yeah. I need to bring the wellness community into this very cloudy kind of environment.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely started with me and my own experiences, having to hustle so hard to kind of like get the recognition that I know I'm working really hard for, in the radio space. It's a really old school mentality, very political mentality. And it was difficult for me to like every day was like fighting for my spot. And even though I'm a great worker and I'm a great on-air personality and I had my fan base and I was doing everything, it was like always looking, having to work hard for like the next person who's trying to take my position. Then when I started in the label side, I just kind of started seeing how the artists are really affected because it's like their baby, right? Their creation, and they get taken by a lot of their own demons and their own like como que doubts. They have their own doubts, and like if they're not okay with everybody that they have to service, from managers to labels to all of the creatives to their fans to the social media world nowadays, they get eaten up alive. And on my side, I mean, I experience a lot of burnout. This is like a nonstop entertainment. Like it's 24 hours, 7 days a week. I get calls at 1, 2 in the morning. I work
from
until
your
super
artist?
late, from my artists, from my bosses, from everybody asking me for things. And I love what I do, which I don't mind, but I definitely see that it's something that if you don't know how to,
put boundaries, would you say?
Boundaries and balance, you can get eaten up alive, and you'll live a life of many years working. And then at the end of the day, you're like, oh my God, what have I done for myself, for my mental, physical, spiritual health. And I was going through that. I had to make a career change that wasn't really like what I wanted to do at that time. I was forced to leave the radio job through circumstances that were out of my hands. And then that's what made me realize a lot more, like, oh my God, like, I've worked so many years. I've done so much for this to just end up having to like go somewhere else or start new again. And I don't want to feel like that. If that does happen, I want to be mentally, physically, and spiritually okay to understand that those are just shifts in our lives that are meant to happen for bigger and better things, instead of like, I could have just like given up and left the industry completely, you know, or like falling into depression or gone into like drugs and alcohol and like just being sad because it just didn't work out for me. And at the end of the day, honestly, like it doesn't work out for a lot of people. It's a big industry, it's a doggy dog world here. And the more people want to be artists, the harder it is to find the good ones in there, because in social media too. So all of these things, all of these pressures for me was like the burnout session, the feeling, having to like work extremely hard for what I already know that I'm doing and that I deserve. And then also when getting to work one-on-one with these artists, not just doing interviews, because they'll come in from the radio time, smiling, happy, and having fun, and then radio, cool music. But when you really get to work with them day to day, and you understand the mental and physical and spiritual stress that they go through because of the fact that what they're creating, it's so personal to them. And if it doesn't work, they'll give up sometimes.
Oof, I'm getting chills.
Yeah,
I'm getting chills because
it's
like, so true. It's so
true. Like I have artists who take breaks for months because they have to take care of their mental health. And I'm like, if you would have prioritized this from the beginning, and you would have understood that music is what you love to do, but it's not it's like a drug at the same time that you have to be really careful with.
It's sacred.
Yeah, it's sacred. And you understand that your mental health, spiritual health, and is before the music. You wouldn't feel so consumed by it. And get so affected when a song doesn't work, or when a label doesn't give you what you want, or when you have 500 fans instead of 1,500, you know. And you understand that there's a process and it's life, and you know, you do it because you love what you're doing, not because you wanna, you know, be famous and have a lot of money. And they get consumed with that, and I noticed those things. And I felt ready to share with the world, because I also am not an expert. I'm still learning so many things. I have depression once in a while. I have problems on a daily basis.
The human experience.
Yeah, you know.
You have the human experience.
Yeah, and that's the one thing I tell everybody, you know, I'm just another one like you.
Yes.
But I understand that this exists and that this is important for me to be better.
It's almost like you're the bridge. But that's the thing about being an artist. As an artist, it's a little bit different than any other profession, because, and of course, I think every human being is an artist, but when you decide, it's almost like the healer. Every human being is naturally a good person. We all operate from a heart-centered place. And so when a person decides to be a healer, it's like, now you have to really preserve your heart. And now your main responsibility is to pour back into yourself. As an artist takes something dark and they transmute it into something beautiful. And so that's why I think we see a lot of these celebrities, a lot of people in the entertainment industry become consumed with that darkness. And so I think it's really beautiful what you said also about those boundaries.
Yeah.
Those boundaries are so important. And that's why when we see like child stars, right? A child doesn't even know what boundaries are. They don't have any idea as to, no, I go all in.
Yeah.
Right? And I think I used to have a friend of mine that I knew as a child, and he, from the moment that ever since I could remember him, his parents were prepping him to play professional football. I mean, I guess he was really good since he was little. I don't know. But I just always remember, like, he's going to be
a football player.
He's going to be a football player. And when I tell you, he had no life. He was literally every single day playing football. And I remember when we graduated high school, I saw him. He lived in the same building as my mom. And I remember seeing him after high school, and he had a chauffeur drop him off. And I'm like, yo, so-and-so. I'm like, damn. I'm like, you don't drive your own car? And it was like a nice car. He ended up playing for like what's the football team in New York?
Oh,
the Jets? I don't know. The Jets? I don't know. Yankees? I don't know. But I remember, and I was like, yo, you don't know how to drive? He's like, no, I never learned how to drive. Like, he was so dedicated to football that even when he made it, finally when he made it, he got drafted, like immediately he can't even enjoy the perks of like everything he created because he doesn't know anything else. Nothing at all. But this is why I think as a creative and anyone who decides to be in the entertainment space, why it is so important for you to have a really solid team. Yeah. I'm sure you see that all the time where they don't have anyone, no support system, no one that loves them. Yep. I see this also even for very successful
that's when entrepreneurs it gets worse. When you become the hot thing, when you have everybody on you and you have the hit single, that's when everybody wants to be around you. And if you get caught up with the wrong people, they'll lead you the wrong path, and it'll make it worse for you because they see you as a product at the end of the day, you know, and not like as a friend or someone that they care for. And that can drive you into a really dark space.
I'm sure you've seen like...
Yeah, and one of the things with the music industry that I noticed outside, it was like, since I listened to so much music too throughout my career in radio and then now working in the business, the message. Like, you move millions of people with a song, and what's the message behind the song? Like, what are you really sending out to the world?
The intention?
Yeah, like, you know, you're talking about drugs, money, and girls, you know, and sex and all these things. Or are you talking about a positive message about what you really feel about love and heartbreak and life experiences that people can relate to you? And I notice a lot of the young crowd and a lot of the younger generation of artists nowadays just talk about things that they don't even experience. Because back in the day, you had Biggie, Tupac, and all these artists that actually lived in the streets, but they talked about what they lived and they saw on the negative side of the streets, but they also talked about how they wanted to get out and how they wanted to be better, and that's why people related to them. But
now we're like reversed.
Now artists they don't live the life of the streets, but they want to be the streets. And why are you sending that message when that's not the right message to send, you know? And if you do become really successful, you're like feeding thousands and millions of people this energy, this frequency. Music is frequency.
And then they can't stop too, because I'm sure like maybe like when you start, you're thinking, okay, I want to make it, I love music, I'm trying to make it. This hit was all about pussy, money, weed.
Exactly.
And then you got stuck there. I'm sure you see that all the time.
And everybody's gonna tell you got to keep doing that. That's what worked. That's what's giving us money. You got to keep making that type of music. No, I don't want to hear nothing else but that.
Have you ever been put in the middle where like the record is asking, hey, we need him to create this kind of music, and obviously you develop a relationship with the artist, and you know that they're capable of so much more, but the label is asking for you to hey, has that ever happened?
I've been like lucky enough, since we're a small indie label, we're not like a huge, you know, corporation. We're really artist friendly in our label. We really don't get in the creative process. Wow. They always ask us to listen, to give feedback. And I do have some favorites and I do have other ones but they're all talented and they all have good, fun messages and good messages, you know? So it not necessarily had to like, you know, tell any of them like, no, do this or do that. We're really like flexible. Obviously we make strategies like, you know, if we're going to go this route, then let's make sure we make a rollout plan of several records that have this vibe, that have this sound, so you can create the fan base in that genre that you're trying to build. That's what we talk about. But it does happen, you know, like you have artists who make a song for fun and it gets picked up. And then like those artists will be required to like keep that going.
They feel the requirement themselves.
The pressure themselves. Yeah.
They're going to be like, I have to continue to deliver the expectations that these people have.
And the fans.
I'm sure you have to have super hard conversations with people. I'm curious if you think that, you know, you being in the, you know, the space of, you know, being a host and your communication skills are amazing. Do you think that helped you throughout the way, you know, now that you kind of have to have hard conversations, and how do you have those hard conversations with the artist?
100%. I think that I just kind of like remind them like everything is gonna be okay. We're not heart surgeons here. We're not killing anybody. We're not like have people's lives in our hands, that we're doctors and we're like, this person could die. Like, relax, you know. Everything's gonna be fine. The song doesn't work now. Let's make it work later. Keep working. Keep, your passion alive. Keep being good to yourself. And that's what I always tell them. Like, we're here to entertain people and have a good time. It shouldn't feel like that. And when I tell them that, I'm like, don't worry, we're gonna figure it out. Maybe not today or tomorrow, but next week or the week after that. Everything's gonna be fine. And that's how I help them kind of like alleviate their stress a whole lot, and my own stress, because when I started,
because you're like the babysitter in a sense,
the
right?
therapist,
Like,
the mom, the manager.
Thank God that you like doing all of this,
friend.
right? Oh my gosh,
the one that gets blamed when it doesn't
Barbie
work.
has a friend in here today. Barbie has a friend in here today, and she's nodding. She's like, yes.
Yeah, we do a little bit of everything when you're dealing with artists, and I love it, but again, we're not heart surgeons here, and this is supposed to be good, and it's supposed to be fun, and it's supposed to feel good because we're passionate about it, even myself. So I remind them of that, and that's helped me kind of like, lead them into the way of like, it's okay.
Would you say is like one of the hardest conversations that you've had to have?
When artists is really, it's so heartbreaking to see, because I have artists that are very hardworking and they're so talented, and that the music doesn't connect, and it just doesn't connect, and we keep working, and I'm like, I'm into the music and I love the artist and I love the project and I believe in it 1,000%, but it's just not connecting, and it's hard for me to tell them like, hey, listen, like, we've been doing this for over 2-3 years already and it's not connecting. We have to figure something out. It's not working out. I'm not telling them to change themselves or change the music but we have to continue looking for what it is. The thing with the music industry is that you can got one hit, and after that your life changes completely, but that takes about 100 records most of the time, the average.
Wow.
To get at least one record to kind of like, do something.
Would you say that's a ratio?
I would say so.
Yeah.
In my experience.
Per 100 records?
Yeah.
One?
Yeah. There's artists that get hot in their first few records and then they don't even got music to follow up, and then they fall and then they have nothing else. So that's one of my hardest, difficult conversations to have. Like, when I know the project is working so good, the artist is hardworking, is talented, is professional, is everything that I want in an artist, but that the music is not connecting with the fan base, it makes me sad and it makes me upset, because I'm like, what else can we do? And I'm so sorry I have to keep telling you it's not working, but at the end of the day, it is a business. And we have to make money back. And if the streams and if the fans are not connecting, then there's something that is not there yet. So
that's a really, I used to see this a lot, especially like with graphic designers and like creative videographers and photographers, right? Especially graphic designers, we see it a lot. Like, they work on a project for you and they've been working on it for 3 weeks, and then finally they come and show it to you and you're like, this is not what I wanted, right? It's super difficult to have that conversation with them. I cannot imagine as an artist, right? As a singer, as a rapper, like, to devote yourself to a record and then it not convert.
Yep, 100%. What I try to tell them is like, we do this because we love it and it's your passion, but at the end of the day, remember that it's like a product that you're putting out, and the fans are the ones that decide, and you have to make sure you study them right. You know who you want to listen to you, and really understand that person, so you know how you're gonna catch them. It's not about what you like 100%. At the end of the day, once you put it out, it's not yours anymore at all. It's the fans.
Wow.
It's not yours. You think it's yours, but it's really not. You're putting it out there as a service for everybody else to take a listen to and love it and make it theirs. Their favorite song.
Once you put out your art, it's no longer yours.
An artist makes music for the fans to listen to and consume it. Painter makes art to sell it for someone who wants to have it in their home or their office. You know what I'm saying?
Well, you know what makes me think about, like, what do you think about, because it's a disassociation, right? It's and I think what I'm thinking about, like, let's say in the case of like Kanye, right, where we think about the artist, right? Right now, obviously, he's not in the best circumstances. He has a lot of controversy.
Yeah.
Or even if you look at Michael Jackson, all the
Yeah.
greats have a lot of controversy. But would
Whitney
you say
Houston.
when you all the greats, Britney
Yes.
Spears, right? What do you think about when people are like, well, I don't like this artist, so I don't like his music? Would you say that those two things should have anything to do? Is the artist associated to its art in that sense?
I would say so. Like, you mean like if they don't have a good personality, or
Yeah.
they're not like, and then
But
their
they put
music-
out really great music. Because since you just said,
it's it's a bittersweet situation, right? Because one of my favorite artists, my whole life, I met him and he was not a nice person, and he broke my heart, and I never again looked at him the same. But I definitely love his music still, and I listen to his music once in a while. I stopped listening to him as much as I used to.
you have to tell me after the episode.
I will.
You have to tell me, and you guys can put in the comments. You guys can put in the comments who you think the artist is.
I don't think anybody's gonna know. 'Cause
Okay,
it's so
if they guess
but-
it, can we give them a giveaway?
Yeah, of course.
What should we give them?
I don't know. What do you think?
I have an idea.
Yeah.
We can give them a coaching call.
Okay.
One
let's do
coaching
that.
call with you, one coaching
Let's
call
do
with
that.
me.
Let's do
Whoever
that.
guesses, but that means we have to reveal it. We'll reveal it with them one on one.
Exactly. Whoever does guess it
Drop in the
correctly.
comments. Drop in the comments who you think she's talking about,
Ooh.
and whoever wins gets a coaching session with Barbie and a coaching session with me.
Yeah, and we can give them some Blissful merch too,
Hey.
if they want.
Okay, I love it. So that's happened.
Yeah, that happens, and then you definitely kind of like. I've met artists too overall that I'm not a huge fan of them, but you kind of notice like they're not really cool, and you're just like, no, I don't want to listen to your music no
And
more.
then there's some people, I really believe in like star power. I really do believe that there's some people who are born in this world to be stars.
Yep.
They say that that's like, okay, in the astrologically, like in the 10th house, always look at your placements, and that, if you have Leo in your 10th house, like there's so many things, but I think the superstar syndrome, like I think that really comes from somewhere, right?
Yeah.
Where did that come from? Why did we start calling these magnetic human beings superstars, right?
Yeah.
It's like the stars were literally aligned for certain human beings to be in front of thousands and millions of humans. And, I've also had the opportunity to work with so many celebrities, and there's something about the way that they carry themselves with so much grace,
Yep.
right? They make it look easy. When you have mastered your craft, I truly believe that you are able to make it easy. And that's why you're able to almost create a method for it.
Yeah.
Let me ask you, have you been around these superstars? So many. I mean, you've been around J Balvin, Raúl Alejandro, Anitta, Mr. 305,
Yes.
Mr. Pitbull. What is something in common that all of these individuals have?
They're great people.
I get chills.
Pitbull is the best superstar person.
Stop. I'll cry
I've
with
ever
him. I
met.
love him.
I swear to God. He'll walk in
Wow.
this room. He'll say hi to you, to me, to her, to him, to the dog, to anybody, to the person who's cleaning, to the person who hold the door for him. Hello, good to meet you. I'm Armando. Like, he doesn't even call himself Pitbull. Like, this and that. And he'll say hi, and he'll be like present and nice. And you feel their presence when they walk in a
Yes.
room in a nice way.
I agree.
They're all like that. Karol G, she's the sweetest girl. Nati Natacha, Raúl Alejandro, very good people that have morals, and they were taught how to treat people in their homes, and they know that they're here for people.
I'm getting goosebumps, Barbie.
Yeah.
I believe that 100%.
And anybody in any careers.
Yes.
We're all here. God gives us a talent. We all come in this world with a talent. If we figure it out, we're very blessed to figure it out. If we maximize that talent, we're very blessed. If you use that talent for other people, that's your purpose. That's why we're all here.
We were
That's
talking
why
about
we're
that
all
the other
here.
day.
There's the reason why we were born, was to
That
give
is what a true
our
dream is.
talent to feed and provide to other people. That's why we're all connected.
Yes, the spiral. The spiral. Yes to literally everything you're
Yeah.
saying. But it's people ask me too. They're like, "Oh, all these like very successful people, like what's something that they have that I don't have, or what's something that I can learn how to achieve?" And I truly believe that that's something that comes back to your roots, right? There's some people who are born again who are meant to provide these kind of experiences with people. The beautiful part about a superstar is that, again, they have mastered this method. And when they look at you, they're so confident about their gift that they're able to look at you and say, listen, if you get close to me, you will achieve X, Y, and Z.
Yeah.
They are able to almost see the future.
Yeah.
They're so faith-based. It's the number one thing. It's like they're so confident about that mission. They know that by them servicing themselves, that they're going to be able to reach that fame or whatever it is. And
those are the ones that don't get lost between the path or the sauce or the fame or the money, because they know, or not being successful or not getting the likes or being rejected, because they know who they are and they know what their talent is, and they're so sure of it. I remember meeting Karol G when I was in the radio, and I was even asking, like, who is this girl? Why is she here?
When she first started?
Time she came to Miami. First time she came to Miami, my radio station I used to work at sponsored her to help her career. And she was at a very small event. She sang, and I'm like, who is this girl? But very nice, very sweet. She knew everything she was going to do. She talked about herself, very good, very professional, very nice for everybody. And then you see her, like, become the global superstar she is now. She always knew, and her father was like, this is the next superstar. She is going to be this, she's going to be that. And they're so sure about that. Again, manifestation, you know, being knowing who you are and why you're here.
Knowing who you, what the heck you are, I believe that too. These people, they are some of the kindest human beings ever.
Yeah.
And, I think some of us that don't grow up around this kind of access, we grow up thinking that anybody who has this kind of power, or anybody who has this money or this magnetism, it's because they're evil or whatever the case may be. And as I started growing up and as I started to place myself in these rooms of very successful people, I realized, man, these are the most genuine, nice human beings. Like, I've never felt so beautifully treated.
Yeah. When I think also is when you're in the right rooms, because there is also, like, I think I say, like, like you say, we're all born good, right? We're all born with a talent, but once you come into this earth, there is a lot of evil and there is dark sides, and that evil and dark side will pull you for your talent just as much as the good side will. And there is a whole other side where you see this huge successful people because they have a lot of money, because they drive amazing cars, they have mansions, they have fame, they have social media's attention. You think that's success, but that's not good success. That's not true success. Success are like, and I want to make that clear, because we're talking about the very few superstars that really are successful, that Pitbull can have, sell out shows, be a favorite, but then he goes home and you don't know about his kids, you don't know about his private life, you don't know about his wife, you don't know about anything, because he's private. He loves that. He balanced out his personal life with his success and his fame. And there's artists that use that to kind of like do it the wrong way, and there is a lot of those. I would say like 80% of that is that, so we have to be careful.
80% is that.
Yeah. And then the other 20 are the very few that have that, and they use it for the good instead of the bad.
Well, if you think about it, right, we're talking again about the word superstar. A superstar is bright, right? It's light, right? But what does the devil usually attack? Light.
Yep.
Peaks. When you're at your peak, when you're the most happiest in life, that is literally when the devil attacks you. So it's the same thing that happens with a superstar. They're constantly in the light, in the fame. They have all the beautiful things aligned for them. So they are the individuals who are going to get attacked the most.
Yep.
And it's unfortunate because it's televised. We see these people be attacked
Everywhere.
in the forefront. And so that's why if that faith and that foundation isn't built from the very beginning, it's extremely difficult. That's why it's why we found, thank God, we have seen in our generation how unethical it is to take a child and say, hey, you're going to be a superstar. We're going to make that decision for you.
Yeah.
Right. But we've also seen some really great results in it. We were talking about the rooms, like being around these people. What would you say to someone who is like, man, I just need to get around the right people, who is looking to get in rooms with Karol G, who's looking to get in rooms with Pitbull and all of these incredible humans? What would you recommend to them?
I would say like work hard, be a good person to everybody that you meet. The music industry, at least in Miami, everybody knows each other, and people are always going to look out. When you're someone new, like you're a new artist and you have something and you think the biggest stars are not looking, they're looking because they want to also know what's coming next after their spot. So everybody's always watching you. Everybody's going to like see how you're treating people, what type of business you're doing, how you carry yourself. So just stay true to yourself. 100%, and don't get taken away by empty promises or dark promises like do this and then I got you with this, or like if you do this but it's not good, don't worry because it'll make you famous or it'll make you have money, and like that type of engaños in the music industry. Don't fall for those. It's a long road. You're gonna have to work really hard to get to those rooms, but I'd rather do that than take the shortcut and be with the wrong people who are gonna like take me the wrong path, So that's what I would say. Just do good business for yourself and for everybody around you, and make sure the people around you not only see you as a product, but see you as a human being and care for you.
Yeah. All those things, like what I'm thinking of is the authenticity part, like being true to yourself and knowing who you are.
Yeah.
I think a lot of us, we think that we don't know ourselves. You know who you are, right? And the best part about this whole conversation is for everyone who's like, I'm still watching this. I'm doing all the healing things. I'm in the music. I want to be in the music space. I want to be a healer. I want to be X, Y, and Z. I want to be a business owner. And I don't know who I am. If you don't know who you are, the beauty of it is that you get to create yourself.
Exactly.
Every single day we're getting this opportunity to create your most authentic self. And where does that come from? Which chakra per se is the most enlightened? Our solar plexus. And what does that represent? Our truth. As artists, as leaders, it's a frequency. It's a light language. You have to be so connected to your truth, who you truly are, and speak from that place.
Yep.
And if not, you will get demolished. You will get demolished because if you don't know, I remember I used to have a friend of mine who was like bossy, and everyone would be like, oh my God, she's so bossy. And then I would be like, you know what? I'm bossy too, and people would say that not, her name was Natasha. She was like, Nati son tan bossy. And you know what? I remember one time we looked at each other and we're like, but with these bunch of pendejas, like, I'd rather be bossy because every time.
Bossy too. I was like, I'm always bossy.
You know what it is? It's just that you act like you don't care about where you're being taken. So you go with the flow.
Yeah, with what everybody says, with however, just to like caer bien. No.
No. I have questions.
I am who I am, and that's what I need, and that's what I want, and that's what I'm going after, whether you like it or not. And and I'm proud of that because that's me, and that's what's in my gut.
But is that maybe come from your own mom? Right. Yeah. I think like those are like foundational things, right?
And working with a bunch of men.
I was going to ask you too. Me too. Like,
I can't be, full feminine energy in the business rooms that I step into. No.
Okay. You're talking my language now.
Yeah.
Because I say it so lightly, right? But being in the spiritual energetic space now, right, that I've integrated this, I come from a very male dominated space. For many years, I only worked around men. I was constantly in rooms where I was the only woman. And something that I always picked up on was, okay, like I thought that at that time that it was difficult being the only woman. And then I came into this spiritual holistic practitioners, which is mostly female dominated, right? And I realized, man, it's so interesting because they're in the constant like, have a soft morning, take your time. No, I think there's something so beautiful about getting great at a job that you absolutely hate, doing really hard work, and being able to thrive in it, and then being able to pour back into yourself. Yeah. That is what being human is, the duality of doing the hard work, being able to tap into your masculine, and also being able to tap into your feminine.
Yeah.
How do you think that you being able to have tapped into those two spaces has helped you in the world that you're in right now?
For sure. I mean, I think I was into my masculine energy for many years in my life, for a really long time, until I think we
talked about this, right?
Until I started tapping into my spirituality, and I realized how much I was missing of that feminine side. Even though I wasn't raised around a bunch of men, that could have been part of it, that I didn't have a father to give me the love that a woman child should deserve, right? Or get. And so she can also be feminine. Because if I have a dad, my mom doesn't have to do men things in the house or things that she needs to do that a man should do to take care of me as her daughter. And I could see that, and I could learn that, and I could be like, oh, I could be more cute and, and all that stuff. I think that's the root of it. And then just like working in a male dominant career as of today still is, I fed that energy and wanting to be like, oh, men are successful. Men are the bosses. Men are the one that make the money. I'm like, I want to make money. I want to be a boss, and I want to be successful. Okay, so I'm going to act like them. And that's, that. And I fed that a lot. And then when I started like getting into my spirituality, I said, but this part is so much beautiful as well. And if I learn how to use it and balance it, it could actually benefit me here too. Because
the duality,
because men are men, but women are, duality. And if I could use both of my energies, just like a man should too, it's easier for us to talk about it. But men also have feminine energy that they need 1,000%. To tap into. And if they find that balance, they'll probably be much better than they are today. But for me, I was like, okay, now I have to learn how to work with both. And also like in my relationships, that was a big part of it, being affected by my masculine energy at work and my lifestyle and everything. I was like, okay, Barbie, you can't be like this when you get home. I love the name Barbie. With your relationship or your man. You kind of have to be more into your feminine energy and allow the men to have that energy when you're home.
Yes.
And that's where I learned how to balance those two things. I'm still working a lot on it.
No,
like being at work, having to be a boss, having to be like that energy at like most of my day, and then going home and okay, now it's time to like let out the nice side. But it feels good when you can,
What's about the receiving part, I think for me too. I think I always was super masculine and being in the spaces that I had been in. And I think that was the biggest thing in my healing journey that I didn't even think that I was going to experience so much.
Me either. I never thought of my feminine energy. I'm like, I am a woman.
I was like,
I dress like a woman. I look like a woman. I take care of myself like a woman. I am feminine energy. And I was like, I am like talking like that. And I'm like, no, wait, hold on. This is all wrong. I'm a female, but my feminine energy isn't here. So that was difficult for me to learn.
It was so hard. I didn't think it was going to affect me that much. Yeah. Especially after quitting corporate. It was so hard. Like literally, I had been programmed for the last 15 years that taking a nap was bad. I still, till this day, I think I've taken one nap. And I'm working on this, guys. Don't attack me. I've taken one nap during the work week per se, since leaving corporate. And I've been programmed to think like, that's so bad. You can't do that. Or to sleep in, or to rest, those kind of things. And even like the people around me, right? Like my partner, my mom, my dad, they're also very masculine. Like, no, yeah, work. Actually, I'm lying. My mom is very in her feminine in that sense. My mom's the type of mom that like when she sees me, she'll be like, mijita, descansa. She's like, no quiere descansar, una siestecita. Like she's like, let me bring you a little blanket, relax. I'm like, Mom, what the heck? I'm like, you can't tell me that right now. I'm like so hyped. Oh man. Okay. I want to jump into like the space that you're in, right? Because so many young, I was gonna say girls, but girls and guys dream of having the kind of role that you have. What is a tip that you would tell them, right? I think people go to school, get a degree to be in the music space and all that stuff. For someone, let's talk to our 25-year-olds.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I can say as my experience, I didn't go to school. Not because I didn't want to, because I couldn't afford it. So when I graduated high school, I just like, okay, what am I going to do now? Right. And then just working hard, but like networking. And I feel like this is more so like in every space nowadays. Is like, no, it's about who you know, not who you are, you know? So like, if you know the right people, you'll get the opportunity. If you treated that person nice when you first met them, like, and like, this is a small world. Like, the person who's an assistant today can be a manager tomorrow, can be a business owner, can leave the label, can leave that work and do their own thing, or can start working with the biggest superstars tomorrow. And if you never treated that person from the beginning that you met them nicely and networked well with them, I've been blessed enough to say that I didn't have to go to college. I didn't have to spend money learning. I learned it all in the streets. I learned it all because I took the time to know where I wanted to get myself into and what I had to do to get myself into those rooms. And in the music industry, it's all about who you know and how you are as a person, how much of a good business person you are, and people person you are too. So I think those are the two things that I have to tell them. Obviously, pro education. If I would have had the chance to, I would have gone to college if I could have afforded. And when I can't afford it, I don't, discard going back to college and getting a degree. But is it necessary? Did I need it to get to where I'm at today? No. All I needed was to hard work, good person, good networking skills, and just being willing to do everything and anything that gets put in your table that you have to do. You wear many hats, and I feel that that's great because I'm needed.
Yes.
If I do one thing in my business or in my job, I could be gone tomorrow, and that happens a lot in the music business. Labels let go of people every year, if not every 6 months. Artists can leave you as management whenever they want, if they find a better management or a better deal,
They can leave whenever they want.
Whenever. They can leave their manager whenever they want. It's not like you have a contract with them, but they could somebody else, I'll buy them out. I'll buy. That's it, So it's all about the connections, the networking, the relationships that you build, and how good you are at what you do,
Yeah.
So I take my artists on a drive and pick them up in my car, just like I do a marketing plan, just like I talk to legal, just like I have my team at the office, just like I have Blissful, like all those things. And I maximize my, me doing all those things, because that's the only way you're going to be, valuable in this industry. When you know more, the more valuable you are in any industry, actually.
When you know more and you do more. That was the best. When I was growing within the companies that I was working for, the best advice that I got was to do the things that nobody wanted to do.
100%.
And when you do those things, whether that's cleaning the house, people, and I think that goes back to even the boundaries that you were talking about. A lot of people come into these spaces, a brand new space, and they're like, I'm only going to do what's asked. Yeah. I'm not going to do what's asked, actually. I'm only going to do what's under the title of the description.
Yeah, my requirement.
My requirements. That's below my pay grade. And one thing that I have picked up on from these superstars, especially early on, is that they are willing to do anything and everything.
And they do it.
And they do it with
They
pride.
get involved in their show production, their graphic production, the videos productions, their auction music production, even marketing plans and ideas. They bring it to the table. This is what I want to, and that's how Karol G. If you see her documentary, she does all of her touring production
with
herself.
Her team.
And she likes this and she likes that, and this is her vision, and she wants to do that. And then in her music, and then the concept behind music, she's not like, oh, I'm gonna go to the studio, make music, and here you go, do what you need to do.
They're involved in everything.
You have to be.
That's what makes someone truly unreplaceable.
100%.
And still they're replaceable, but it makes it a lot harder
Exactly.
to get rid of someone who can wear any hat.
Exactly.
And that doesn't mean that you need to wear all the hats at once.
I no, 100%, yeah. But when you have to take one down, put the other one on.
Switcheroo.
Today I have to do this, tomorrow I have to do that, and then that's okay. Today I'm a publicist, tomorrow I'm a manager. The other day I'm her best friend at a baby shower because I love her. Like the other day I'm just like a therapist, like different things.
Yes.
And that's what you have to do.
Barbie, what is something like in common out of all these people that you've met? Like, if you could say, man, this is like a common wound that they have, what would you say that wound is?
I think even for some of the most successful artists that I've worked with, not thinking that they're enough, that the song is good enough, or that their project did good enough. And it's crazy because you see it from the outside and you're like, oh my God, you have so many cool things. You have so many fans. You have this amazing project. I love it. I listen to it every day. I'm everywhere. And they still think that it's not enough. Wow. They're really hard on themselves. I was like, or they're just going to the next one and they don't sit down to like absorb all of the beautiful things that just happened to them with a project. They were like, oh, I let it out and then just move on to the next one. And like machines. That's one of the things that I've seen a lot of them.
I wonder if we've ever come across someone that could even sit with it. Because I haven't. And it just reminds me that I think the human being is just meant to desire more.
Yeah.
Right? And that's where gratitude comes in.
Well, that's what they make us think now. More is better. But that's what they want to make us think. But if we really sit down, the smallest things are the biggest blessings.
That's where the gratitude comes into place.
Yeah, like my biggest blessing is not like having a superstar artist that I work with, is being able to like feed my home, my mom, my family, take care of my my loved ones, be able to have like my bills paid, have food in the table, go to the gym, do this with you, build a community, give back. Those are the things. Have a phone call with my best friend or stuff like that, and that's what I think that they lose a lot of, because again, you have so much pressure and so many people on you all the time. It's that you want to feed everybody at the same time. It's just like, no, go back to you.
Yeah.
And when you're feeling good, that's how you're going to be able to be good for everybody else.
I think that's why like what you're doing is so beautiful, that you've decided to have Blissful Project, right? And it really does remind me of I have this similar story with like House of Vibration. Like it started to be a space for, I was seeing so many people in this limelight and these successful business owners having everything, but the only thing that they were missing was that kind of being able to sit and enjoy the fruits of their labor. What does it even matter if you can enjoy the fruits of your labor?
Without feeling guilted or without feeling that it's not enough.
And it's almost like they get built to build these things in survival. But what does it all matter if you can't sit down and be like, man, I just did this for my mom. I just bought her a new house. Blessed. I'm blessed. I have good health. I have a partner that I love, that loves me. Like, what does that even matter? What does anything matter?
Yeah.
So I think it's so beautiful what you're doing with this project. Because these human beings that inspire us so much, I think inspiration is beautiful.
Yeah.
I think the fall of Hollywood, people are like, yeah, Hollywood must crumble. But Hollywood, if you look at even LA, right, on so many dreams come true in Hollywood.
Yeah.
Right? And those dreams give us inspiration. This is, again, this artist that is devoting themselves. They're taking the most darkest parts in themselves and they're exposing it.
Yep.
And that gives us inspiration. As leaders, the number one thing that a leader needs to do is to constantly be in a state of inspiration. And we have been programmed, especially our generation has been programmed, not to be coachable, not to be inspired by others. It's almost like, I'm not impressed by them. Like, we're like, I have a friend. I don't want to be impressed by nobody. And it's like, how are you going to continue to feed this consciousness so that you can inspire others if you're not willing to be inspired yourself?
Yeah. Everybody wants to be the best. I say, like, I don't want to be the best in the room. I want to be the one that knows the less. Because when I'm in the room full of people that know more than me, guess who's learning? Guess who's growing? Guess who's getting energy fed into? Me. And I was like, I don't want to be the smartest person in the room. I want to be the dumbest person in the room at all times.
Yes.
Because that means I'm like growing and I'm learning and I'm around people who are teaching me to be better.
Yes.
You know, and then in other rooms, be the person who's teaching. And that's why I built the Blissful Project, you know, to teach people that the importance of like spiritual, physical, and mental health. Like you say, we know a lot of successful people who make a lot of money, but they're depressed. They get home and they hate their lives. You see people who are comedians who are very successful. They make people laugh. Millions of people laugh through their movies, through their shows. And then they get home and they're depressed and they take their lives because of how much they hate themselves, right? You have people who look good, the fittest, the finest, you know, like body, fit, this. And then they still don't think they look good. They still doubt themselves of being beautiful. So it's important to have those three things: spiritual, physical, and mental health. And they're all not going to be 100% at all times. But today, I'm going to meditate a little bit. Tomorrow, I'm going to go to the gym. The next day, I'm going to read something. Or every day, I'm going to read for 10 minutes.
Yeah.
I'm going to journal for 10 minutes. I'm going to make sure I go to the gym for at least 30. That's when you see the difference.
Yes.
And it all connects and it makes you be a better you every single day. It doesn't have to be big steps. It could be small steps, but little by little, you start becoming that person that you always wanted to be. So that's my message behind the Blissful Project. And I try to make experiences that feed those three things. Because I've been like the most spiritual, but then I don't eat good, or like I've been into my fitness era, but then like I get lost in translation of my spirituality and my mental health. And I'm like, no, and then I would still not be feeling fulfilled until I'm like, okay, you have to take it step by step and feed yourself and throw water into all these 3 cups. Una gotita, un montón de agua, whatever, you know, today, whatever you could do today, whatever you could do today, but do it. And you're going to see how you're going to feel tomorrow.
The Blissful Project.
Yeah.
I love that one. The word bliss.
We're all looking for blissfulness.
Yes.
That's like the ultimate happiness. And you truly feel blissfulness is like undescribable feeling. Like it's like, how do you explain? Like you're just so like excited, happy. You could even cry. You get goosebumps. Like it's like when you love someone, when you're with your best friend and you're sharing a nice experience or a nice memory, when you have your baby for the first time, when you're spending time with your mother, when you reach a goal in your career.
This is a blissful moment.
Yeah, this is a blissful moment. You know, for me, I told you that I had you in my goals.
Aww.
I literally have goals of people I want to connect with. And I've been watching you and everything you do for over a year. And I'm like, I'm going to connect with her in the right time, at the right pace, for the right reasons. And it was the most random person who connected me with you.
Shout out Rock.
Yeah. Because you have a lot of the same circle, but the other people that I thought would connect me with you, and I'm like, it's okay. It will happen when it happens. And look, we're here sitting down, and this to me is a very blissful moment.
It is.
To connect with a woman like you and be able to just like, you feed me your energy because it's beautiful, you know, and I feel that.
The same. I feel this has
you.
Been such a beautiful conversation, and I think we're gonna have to do a part 2.
I'm down,
right?
Whenever,
I think you're so good,
know?
right? Even the team behind the scenes is like, that was good. Next one we'll have to go. You guys drop in the comments what else you guys want to hear.
Yes,
from
please.
Barbie and Nati. But I have a question for you. I asked this question for everyone. What does being rich in soul mean to you?
Being rich in my soul means to me being able to give back, you know, to people. Just like being able to give a light to everybody else. And that includes my family, that includes my friends, that includes my artists, that includes everybody in my blissful community. I don't know. I love to see like how something I do can make someone else happy or make someone else better or teach them something. I think that's what makes me rich. Again, me using what I can to give it to other people.
Yeah.
And that's it.
I love it. The ripple effect.
Yeah.
That's the ripple effect.
It always comes back. What you give, whether it's good or bad, it's going to come back. And if we're here, we're going to do it good and we're going to be good, you know?
Oh, snaps. Well, thank you so much. It was such an honor chatting with you. And I love that you are a bridge, right? It's truly what we're doing, right? Some of us are bridges in different points in our lives, and you are a bridge for these artists. You are there for an exact reason. You're a beacon for them because they're going through moments in their lives where they feel like they can't trust anyone. They don't have the resources. They don't have the tools, right?
Yeah.
Their life has been kind of like, they've been down this tunnel of like artistry for so long. And here comes Barbie with the Blissful Project, and just literally it's encoded in you.
Yeah.
And so I'm so grateful that you have chosen to have this project available for these humans and for all humans, right?
All humans, yeah.
So I'm super grateful. I know that we're gonna have to do something with House of Vibration.
We're gonna
and the
do
Blissful
so many
Project.
things.
I know. So stay tuned for that too. But where can people find you?
Yes, they can find me on Instagram, Blissful Barbie, or the Blissful Project, that blissful.project. And, you know, connect with me, please. Like, DM me, follow me, and join me in any of the upcoming, you know, events and blissfulness that we're going to be having for the rest of the year and next year. And I'm always an open book. I love to connect with people. I love to make new friends. So don't be afraid to, like, come to me or, like, say hi to me or, like, DM me or message me, you know? I feel like it's great to connect with new souls and new people.
Yeah. I always tell people, I'm like, just write to the person
so
that
many
you're
people
inspired
tell me
by.
like, I can't believe you answered me, I can't believe like you're like so nice and this and that. I'm like, what do you mean? Like, yeah, of course, text me, message me, whatever.
And all of these superstars will write back too. If they see it, they're going to write back.
Yeah.
They want to write back. That people have chosen that path for a reason.
Yep.
Like, people are always in shock. They're like, is this person really nice? I'm like, yes, he's literally a people person. That's why he chose to be in this path.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So this is your reminder that if you are inspired by someone, let them know that you're inspired by them. Don't hold back. Don't let your ego get in the way.
100%.
You never know, like, what kind of connection that person might give you.
Yeah.
So we can stay talking for hours, but I hope you guys enjoyed today's podcast. If you're not subscribed, be sure to subscribe down like here, I think, or like here, one of these buttons here. Make sure you follow us. And if you're interested in spending more time with us, actually, I have a huge announcement. I almost forgot. So I know that one of the hardest parts about starting a business, whether you're a small business owner, large business owner, or you're just looking to scale yourself out because maybe you've gone viral on social media and you don't know how to continue this. One of the hardest things and one of the biggest perks that House of Vibration had when we launched was having access to all of this stuff. You guys don't see it, but there's like lights everywhere. There's cameras everywhere. And the truth is that I got the opportunity to learn a lot of behind the scenes of what it takes to build out these production studios. And so after lots of requests, we are making it possible for all of our business owners to be able to have this information, right? So I invite you guys, if you're interested in learning how it is that you can bring all of these tools into your business, drop down below the word magnetic, and I'm going to send you a little preview as to what it may look like if you took your method to the next level. If you allow yourself to be seen, that's the only thing you have to decide on. Are you ready to be seen? If so, then drop in the chat magnetic. Okay.
All right, and now let's close it out with one statement, something like that.
Okay.
You guys say something together to the crowd. I don't know.
1, 2, 3, bless.
305.
Hey. Okay.
Oh.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. I just are you're raised in Miami? You consider yourself a Miami girl? Okay.
What am I gonna say?
Oh no, I know what. So to close it out, another really to close things out, I wonder if anybody thought about who it was that disappointed you, but you still admire them and are inspired by them. So drop in the chat who it is that you think that Barbie was talking about. We're going to be reaching out to you. I think we need to give him like an event too.
We'll give him a hint because it's going to be difficult.
Oh my gosh, can you give a hint?
I could give a hint. It's a Latin rock star, like rock artist. Yeah.
Ooh.
But Latin, rock en español.
No, girl, yo soy una rockera en español to the
Sí,
max.
sí.
So I need to know. Is it?
No. Oh my
Okay.
God, I would say my heart would be broken.
Okay.
They're my favorite in the world.
Is it?
I think you're going to think about it very soon, but they'll figure it out. That's not that many of
Where are
them.
they from? Mexico?
No, yeah, I give it
Okay.
away.
Okay. Okay. All right. So drop in the chat who you think it is. Rock en español. Disappointed, but makes great music. Anyways, I love you all. Follow us all along the ride. We're super excited to create some magic, and we love you all.